What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ango show. And today's a very interesting day because we are live. Billy is not here, unfortunately. Billy had something very important come up, so it was a last minute change. I tried to get a guest host into the show today, but I was unsuccessful in doing so. So, chat, it's just us. It's just us, and that's okay. It was a good weekend. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about wrestling today, but I appreciate you guys showing up and being here. Listen, a couple things that I want to just get through. We are live on YouTube and X, and it looks like we shouldn't have any technical issues, hopefully, because I did purchase that new software that I was telling you guys about before. We had the technical issues last week. Hopefully, with this new software, hopefully it's not an issue, right? That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm obviously that's what I'm praying for. So, the Ango Show, powered by Ango Media, live January 27, 2025. If you guys want to support the show, there's a couple ways to do that, guys. Obviously, by running your super chats, becoming a member, liking the stream, leaving a comment in the chat. Today is going to be very interactive. So of course I appreciate you guys, being here, and I'll be able to throw the chats up on the screen. As you guys know, that'll be really cool. Super chats guarantee that your questions are read. If you're a member, you have a higher priority as well. It sounds like I'm in a tunnel. What's up with the mic? Okay, how about now, friends? Are we good? Are we good? Can you hear me? What do you guys think? Is this working? What's the deal? How's the audio now? The mic is working. Okay. Do I have to repeat what I just said, guys? Do I have to repeat what I just said? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what the hell just happened. We're good? Ladies and gentlemen, the art of live streaming, sometimes you just have like these weird technical issues. I don't know what it is or why it is or whatever it may be. So that's obviously pretty unfortunate. But I appreciate you guys all being patient, and riding with me and understanding. Of course, I could throw you guys' chats on the screen. So I just want to show you guys Darth Bane. He left a comment. He says, "There we go." So that's how I know the audio is fixed. So I appreciate that. I could throw super chats. I could throw comments on here. So obviously, when you guys drop a super chat or a comment, I could throw that on the screen. Obviously, we'll take a look at the chat, and we'll have a big conversation today. But we are multi-streaming. Hopefully, the software is working good. We already ran into an issue, but it looks like it's been resolved. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around and bearing with all that. You guys can see the title of the stream, and the title of the stream is pretty obvious. WWE is wasting our time.
I'm a WWE guy. Obviously, I've become a big fan of what Triple H has done with this company and some of the things that they've done. Um, I feel like what's interesting to me is that WWE's TV product is so good and it's obviously very hot. And they're doing very well, but I was not a fan of Saturday night's main event. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I felt like it was a waste of time. As much as I have been very, very, very positive about some of the things that WWE does, as much as I've been positive about some of the things that they do on television, I'm not going to sugarcoat it when it comes to Saturday night's main event. The first one was way better. I thought the second one was a waste of time. The reality is you could put big stars on there and you could put PLE-esque matches on the card. Gunther and Jey Uso World Heavyweight Championship, you know, Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Like, you're putting PLE level matches on this card. The problem with Saturday night's main event is that it's not there. You're not getting anything shocking. To me, it feels like a glorified house show. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want a glorified house show on Saturday nights. I want them to do things where you make me feel like anything can happen at any given moment. And that's not what Saturday night's main event is feeling like. Um, when I say they're wasting our time, it's not that I was bored with the product. It's not that it was a bad product. It's not that I didn't enjoy the show. It's just a waste of time because it's all predictable. It was very, very predictable of a show. And I hate to say this, but that was one of the things I absolutely hated about AEW's Battle of the Belts. So I see firsthand with WWE doing Saturday night's main event, and I'm like, okay, like the show is fine, the matches are fine, the energy and the presentation and all of these things are fine, but you're giving me a glorified house show. I want surprises. I want it to feel like a PLE, maybe a title change. Something different, bro. Give me something fucking different. These wrestling promoters love playing it safe, and it's so tiresome. As a content creator who watches pro wrestling, to me, it's just very, very tiresome. Saturday night's main event, it's competing against Collision, and you got other sports and other things that are happening on Saturday nights. It's a time where people go out and socialize. Maybe they work Monday through Friday and they work 50, 60 hours a week and they want to go out on a Saturday night. And then you're giving them a card that feels like a PLE level card, but then you give them predictable finishes, no title changes, no surprises. And I don't know if this is a thing where WWE and Triple H are getting a little bit more content and complacent, with this whole thing. But to me, I felt like that was a waste of time. I felt like it was a waste of time. Now, this wasn't a super chat, but I do like this comment because I really disagree here. Trey Lusato says, I don't think Sheamus should have won, to be honest. Listen, man, you can have Sheamus beat Braun Breaker and Braun Breaker would not be impacted by it at all. That's how good of a job they've done booking wise. So Sheamus needs the IC title. He hasn't won the IC title. There's an opportunity for him to win the IC title. And for some reason, he doesn't win the IC title. And it's a good match. And Sheamus and Braun Breaker, I love watching them. But like, this was a perfect example of them just giving us the safe route. And I'm sorry, man, but I'm tired of people playing it safe. I'm tired of that shit. Bro, you have WrestleMania. And this is the thing I hate about Saturday night's main event, by the way. It's a week before the Royal Rumble. Some of those matches could have been on the Royal Rumble card, but they're not on the Royal Rumble card. So it makes Saturday night's main event feel like a big deal. Then you go and watch it, and then you realize very quickly that it was some garbage, bro. Make it make sense. It's not on the Royal Rumble PLE. You're building towards WrestleMania. Why would you not give us something? Just something. I want to understand, why not give us something that makes us feel like anything can happen? You know what I mean? Why not make us feel that way? Because you're going to do 4 of these a year. You decide to do it the week before Royal Rumble, which, by the way, is like a good thing. It's a good thing because you can shock the world before you go into the Royal Rumble. You could change the landscape of the Royal Rumble. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that, man. Now, I talked about this on my More Ango channel. I did like a little thing talking about Tony Storm. So I want to let you guys know, first and foremost, um when it came to Saturday night, I had plans. I was not watching Saturday night's main event live, and I was not watching Collision. I didn't watch them live. I had plans Saturday. So the thing that I'm bringing up, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, is because I went back to watch it on demand. And I did that, which I thought both shows were actually good. I thought Collision was relatively good, and I thought Saturday night's main event was relatively good. I did not watch them live. I watch wrestling 24/7, bro. I watch wrestling Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I watch wrestling every single fucking day. So Saturday night comes around, I have some plans that I have to really go to. Like, I have to do this. I can't miss out, right? So I have these plans Saturday. I say I'm going to watch the shows. And then I watch them and I was like, yeah, they're pretty enjoyable. Yeah, they're all right. Saturday night's main event didn't really do anything for me on like wow, I need to watch every single one, because they didn't make it feel that way. And Collision has never felt that way. Collision has never felt like, oh my God, I should skip my plans on a Saturday night and watch Collision. So Collision already doesn't do it for me. I didn't care to watch Collision. I went back and watched Collision after the fact because I was just like, fuck it. Why not? But Saturday night's main event is like a sub PLE. It's a network special. It's on prime time. It's like, I thought they personally fucked it up, bro. I thought they fucked it up. I think I will never watch Saturday night's main event over anything. If I have plans to watch UFC that night, I don't think I would watch Saturday night's main event, because you have pretty much basically told me you are going to just do what you do. Henry G put out this comment. He says Saturday night's main event was viewer bait. No real wrestling fan expected anything of substance from that show. Which, by the way, let me be clear. Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu, sick. Sheamus, Braun Breaker, sick. Gunther and Jey Uso. There was a moment where I thought Jey Uso would have actually done it. Sick. Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, not bad at all. It wasn't a bad show, but it was very much a glorified house show. I think it's wild to me. This comment right here from Angel Delgado. This guy, if something doesn't go how you want, you get mad? Come on. Brother, the title isn't I'm mad about something. The title is they're wasting my fucking time. That's the issue. They're wasting my time. They put out a pay-per-view level card on free television and basically told you it was a glorified house show. They didn't do anything surprising. They didn't do anything that made you feel like it was an actual PLE. They gave you a PLE level card and they didn't do anything other than everybody fucking retains. Yeah. It's called wasting my time. Of course, I'm not going to be happy about it. My time is fucking valuable. Ladies and gentlemen, your time on this earth is valuable. WWE has this whole thing. I love WWE and I love WWE's product, but WWE, and I've been saying this for the longest fucking time, they have this issue where WWE will draw out these storylines and draw out these plans and give you like this really, really long thing. But then you have very long title reigns, or you have title reigns that become stagnant, and they have an opportunity to change the entire landscape of it all by sometimes shocking you. And so the fact that they didn't use that opportunity, right? They didn't use that opportunity. Darth Bane, very good point. There is no point in having title matches on SNME if no titles ever change hands. Because then we are literally getting to the point of Battle of the Belts. I'm telling you guys right now, go back and watch any fucking video that I've ever talked about Battle of the Belts. I said this shit is fucking whack. I said it so many times. So many times. I don't even know how many times I've said it. So if you're not going to do it on Saturday night's main event, then why the fuck are you doing these matches? It doesn't make sense. I promise you guys, it doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry, but the truth is, WWE has really, really wasted my time on Saturday night because going into the show, I thought it was a PLE level show. I'm just being honest. I really did. And I knew that when I had my plans come up Saturday, I knew I couldn't avoid those plans. Those were plans that I were obligated to go to. So I knew I was going to miss Saturday night's main event. And then I came back and I watched it. And I remember just sitting there being like, wow, these matches are cool. Nothing wrong with them. But they didn't do anything to make me feel like I should be watching this live. That's just the truth, man. That's just the truth. I think it's very difficult sometimes to be a wrestling fan because, like, they do some shit on that show, WWE and AEW. They do some stuff, and I don't know what it is or why it's like this, but sometimes I just feel like they do things wrong, bro. And you offer your perspective, and then wrestling fans they just get pissed about it, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. We have a super chat, so let me take a look at that super chat. We got our first super chat, by the way, and actually, I feel bad because I didn't put in the goal. Can you guys let me know, by the way, how is the stream quality, by the way, just in general? Is it working good? Everything good? All right. Where is this at? Tolino channel dropping 200. What is INR? Indian rupee, right? Yeah, Indian rupee. That's what I thought. Tolino channel, shout out to you. 200 rupees. For me, Saturday night's main event was a statement. Who will stop Fatu and Breaker? Why KO is a justified heel? It's the system of KO. It's the system versus KO. Nia Jax can still go and put on some good match. Jey Uso could become a world heavyweight champion one day. Can she really? Can Jey Uso really become a world champion one day? Can he really? Are you guys bought into the idea of him becoming a world champion? What is that? His third attempt? That's his third attempt? trying to become a world champion, I think. You know, the big, I don't know if you guys know this, but the big the big talking point in the IWC is actually Jey Uso is nothing more than a catchphrase. I personally don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think Jey Uso is much more than a catchphrase. But if Jey Uso won the World Heavyweight Championship, would Triple H make me wait 7 to 9 months just for it to come off his waist? Because if that's the case, I ain't trying to wait that long. I think he deserves the World Championship. I think when you get over like that and you have this presentation and that aura about you, 1000% you absolutely should become a world champion. Fuck what the IWC says. I don't care if Jey Uso has a limited move set or not. I don't care about that. But if Triple H makes Jey Uso a world champion for a fucking year, you think I want to sit down and watch that? Absolutely not. We got a long list of people. We got Malachi Black potentially coming back. I would rather see him get a shot. I want to see Karrion Kross get a shot. There's a lot of guys I want to see get a shot. But in professional wrestling, if you're not like in the top 5 that are like in the main event scene, you almost always have a ceiling. It's a problem in AEW and it's a problem in WWE, and it's always going to be like that until sometimes, once in a while, somebody eventually goes. Sami Zayn should be a world heavyweight champion. Sami Zayn never gets that opportunity, but he should be a world heavyweight champion. Tolino Channel, I think you're 100% right. Saturday night's main event was a statement, but it was a fucking lousy one. I do think it was a lousy one. I'm being honest. I think it was very lousy. And unfortunately, when you have that kind of situation come up where you don't do any surprises and stuff, I'm telling you guys right now, I promise you, when you do not give people surprises and you don't do title changes and you don't really build up the show like that much, you just give us a couple good matches and a couple big entrances. Let me just explain to you guys very carefully right now. People will not watch Saturday night's main event live every week. I promise you guys. I know that for a fact. People will not watch. It's just not possible. People will feel like it's not worth it. I don't know what their expectations are for ratings. I don't know what their expectations are for any of that, but I'm telling you guys right now, it's not. It's not. Shout out to Tolino Channel for the super chat. Appreciate you. Looking at the chat, everybody's saying that the stream is looking good, which makes me very happy. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I think, I'll keep paying for this software then. Obviously, I don't know what's going on. I don't know when Billy will be back. Obviously, we could bring in more guests and stuff. Honestly, if somebody's got a microphone and a webcam, I swear to God, I wouldn't mind bringing somebody onto the stream today. It could be kind of fun if we bring in a random viewer. So let's see if maybe that's an option. I tried bringing in a guest co-host today. Obviously, I was notified last minute. Yeah. You basically want them to play hot potato with the titles? You don't need them to play hot potato with the titles. You just don't need to have the titles on people for fucking ever, bro. Why is that a thing? Why does every single title reign have to be long and drawn out? I love WWE and I love long-term storytelling, but for every title, it doesn't need to be that way. And honestly, that's actually more prevalent in the tag team division because you should feature the tag teams a little bit more often. Tolino Channel dropping another super chat for 100 rupees. Imagine Jey Uso winning World Heavyweight Championship and making Sami getting frustrated about putting in hard work, but failed to get the result and making him a heel versus Jey. Wow. I would love a Sami Zayn heel turn. We talked about this the other day. On the channel, but a Sami Zayn heel turn would be very fun, considering the Bloodline storyline. And considering so much of what has happened, you know, I personally would love to see Sami Zayn and Jey Uso feud. That's when things get really serious, right? Look at the history there between them. It makes a lot of sense. There was a lot of history between them in the bloodline. But I feel like Sami Zayn's heel turn probably won't happen until after WrestleMania. I have a very strong feeling. I've been saying for a long time now. Kevin Owens as the heel, Sami Zayn as the babyface at WrestleMania. I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan for sure. So definitely something to consider. Shout out to Tolino Channel for the super chats. Appreciate you. We got another super chat from Cornell Bryant, 4.99. So I guess Cody will be a one-time world champ, huh? The Rock lost the title 2 times on free TV before WrestleMania 15 and still walked in as a champ in the main event. Um, listen, if Cody won the championship once, I'm sure he'll win it again. I can see that happening. But I don't think Cody needs to be holding the belt right now. Cody could drop the belt to Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens, if Kevin Owens beat Cody Rhodes for the title, I would be happy as fuck. I can tell you guys right now for certain. Right now for certain. I can tell you guys for sure, for sure, for sure. There is no way in hell Kevin Owens is winning. WWE ain't doing it, bro. They ain't doing it. Triple H is playing it safe. They have a plan that's greater. Kevin Owens is just filler. The thing with Kevin Owens, though, is that Kevin Owens has walked into this role and absolutely killed it. He's killed it in this role. At Saturday night's main event, he got hit with the sweet chin music. It made me think for a second that maybe potentially that was done on purpose so Kevin Owens could shock the world. How they book Kevin Owens versus Cody in the ladder match will be very interesting. God bless them. That's going to be an interesting task because I think everybody knows that Kevin Owens has been underutilized, hasn't really been utilized correctly under Vince McMahon. Triple H has taken him, and then he's obviously become a lot better, getting a lot more opportunities, becoming an actual star. But Kevin Owens doesn't win the big one because there's a greater plan. And I think that's a problem. Shout out to Cornell Bryant and Tolino Channel for the super chats. Thank you guys. Where is this? I forgot what I was looking for, which just pissed me off. Oh, yeah, I was trying to look at TikTok for a second because we are live on TikTok, supposedly, and I don't know if it's actually working. TikTok is such a weird thing. We are live on TikTok. Okay. Okay, so I am live on TikTok. I just seen that we are live on TikTok. That's cool. Wow, sick. I was just trying to make sure. I didn't see so within the software, I didn't see anything about the I didn't see anything about the TikTok live, which is really weird. I can't track that. So I have to bring that up separately. So if you guys are watching on TikTok, my bad. I apologize. Um Okay, cool. We got another super chat, so let's address that. We are going to talk about AEW Collision as well because I want to talk a little bit about that. And we got to talk about AEW's creative fucking mess because the Death Riders fucking suck. All right, cool. Shout out to Right Hand Cam dropping $5. He says, "Let's be real for a second. Everything doesn't need to be a slow burn, or every title doesn't need a long run. I'm on KO side for. I'm on Kevin Owens side from the beginning. Yeah, 100%, 100%." And you know what's really interesting about this is that when everything is a slow burn, like when everything is a slow burn, I do think it is problematic. I do. Like, not everything has to be a slow burn. You can still do a lot of attention to detail and a lot of layers to a storyline without having it to be 8 months long. So I 100% agree with this sentiment. I've been saying this for the longest fucking time. I love Triple H's booking. I love the way WWE books storylines. I don't think every single one needs to be long and drawn out, especially with the title reigns. I'm not a fan of long title reigns. I'm not. That's my personal opinion. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you disagree. That's fine. It's not a big deal, but I'm just not a big fan of that. Um, yeah, you guys will hear more about my Royal Rumble predictions. I do believe that in terms of the Royal Rumble, though, I do believe that Kevin Owens should beat Cody Rhodes, and I think Cody Rhodes could get the belt back later on in 2025. But I don't think Cody Rhodes needs to actually go into WrestleMania as a champion. I think they should do the Rock and Cody match. We'll talk about that on the Royal Rumble stream. Shout out to Right Hand Cam for the super chat. Um, I'm looking. We got another one from Darth Bane. He says, if not KO, then I hope a heel Orton takes the belt. So my original plans for WrestleMania 41 originally was Randy Orton being a heel. And we haven't seen him. Obviously, he's been out, but that was my original thing that I said like a year ago. Like, it's going to be Cody versus heel Orton. Then obviously we hear some stuff about The Rock, and then I think for sure Randy Orton gets involved in all of this. For sure. I do think Randy Orton gets involved. Maybe he comes back at the Royal Rumble and wins the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I don't know how they ease Randy Orton into the mix. That's going to be very interesting. God bless them. Good luck, because they got to be very, very careful with that. They have to be very careful with that. But I think it will be a really cool thing if they can figure out a way for maybe Kevin Owens beating Cody. See, the thing is, Orton has the history with Owens and he has the history with Cody. I like both ideas. You could go both ways. Or you could just look at how stacked your roster is and get more people in for a multi-man match. I don't know. But that'll be very interesting to see. Shout out to Darth Bane for the super chat as well. Guys, we're going to take a quick little break just for a second. I just have to use the restroom, I'm being honest. So yeah, let's do that. And yeah, let's do that for a second, and then we'll talk about some AEW stuff and some more. funniest people in the world, bro. Y'all are funny as hell. I swear to God. I swear. I just read. I listen. And he could not beat the clock. Oh my God. You guys are fucking hilarious. I swear. That was funny. Good shit, chat. That was, I swear. I was just sitting there. I was reading that shit. I thought that was hilarious as hell. Um, Ah! What a day. What a day. Listen, I want to dive in a little bit with the um let me pull this up actually because now that I'm using this new software, I'm trying things out, obviously. So give me a second. Looking at the chat. Did I miss any super chats? I just want to make sure. Did I miss any super chats while I was gone? Okay, I don't think so. Okay, cool. Um let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're good. Okay, cool. Um yeah, so I want to talk just a little bit about AEW and the Death Rider storyline because I feel like we've kind of reached a point, which is really, if I'm being honest with you guys, I feel like we're reaching a point with the AEW Death Rider storyline where just maybe it's not becoming beneficial to AEW at all by keeping it going, right? Like I think we all know, we were talking about Saturday night's main event where it's kind of becoming predictable and the show is predictable. But I'm watching the Death Rider storyline and I just don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see AEW creating the next big baby face to really save the company from this mess. And it is a creative mess for AEW. The Death Rider storyline is literally one of the worst things that AEW has ever done. Um, and it's weird because Blackpool Combat Club was a very cool faction in AEW. A very cool faction in AEW. And I don't understand where the ball dropped. Um I think there's a couple things that need to be changed in AEW. The Death Rider storyline needs to go away for sure. I think we need to get to a point where not only the Death Rider storyline goes away, but you have to have it break off fast. The problem is AEW is not pivoting. They have not pivoted from the storyline. Um, they need to. And here's the thing. When I watched Collision this past weekend, the talk of Collision was obviously timeless Tony Storm. Tony Storm has had the best character development in professional wrestling. She's definitely up there. There's nobody that comes close in that conversation. Nobody. Um, I think that the Death Rider thing is the opposite of that. It's the worst development that AEW has ever had. So, why is the Death Rider storyline every week becoming so predictable? And every week, it's kind of become the same thing where there's a beatdown and they leave. And so then I watch Tony Storm and I see the opposite, where I see people are very happy to watch Tony Storm. People enjoy the character development there and the storyline development, and people want more of it. And that's not the leading storyline for AEW. The leading storyline, the one that's closing out, is obviously the Death Riders thing. So I look at this Death Rider storyline as arguably the worst thing that not only AEW has ever done, but it might be, honestly, it might get to the point where the Death Rider storyline is like the worst thing in professional wrestling at all. Like, it's getting really bad. There's a really bad stink around this. I made a video today on my main channel while we have been live, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you have not seen it, but there's a change within AEW, and I want to kind of elaborate on this because Tony Khan is apparently going to be more in the weeds of the creative process. Now, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with AEW's creative process, but obviously there's something very wrong with it. There is something very, very, very wrong with it because if Tony Khan is not involved, then I would say Tony Khan needs to get involved. If Tony Khan is very involved, then I have to wonder why this is the case. And I want to give a shout out to JD from New York because yesterday he had the best of 2024 stream. And the reason why I'm bringing this up was because I did read off, the storyline or the event of the year. That was I contributed to his live stream last night, and I did the event of the year. And there was something that Jesse and JD said that kind of stuck with me as I was watching this because I revealed that the winner was WrestleMania 40 Night 2. That wasn't my vote. Well, I mean, it was my vote, but there was like 10,000 plus people who voted in this thing, right? And what I saw was that a lot of people overwhelmingly believe that WrestleMania 40 Night 2 was the event of the year. So this is where things actually get really interesting, though. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. When you look at all of these events that happened in 2024, and AEW had some good ones, WWE had some good ones. My main point that I said in the live stream was that WrestleMania 40 Night 2 had a ripple effect. Meaning everything that happened, WWE was listening to their audience. WWE gave people the results that they wanted. Cody finished his story. Was it a little overbooked? Yes, but it was an event from start to finish where there's a lot of memorable moments. And JD and Jesse were also talking about this, and they agreed with the fact that it was a ripple effect for this boom period of WWE. And if you look at some of these other events, I think it was Wrestle Dynasty with Bryan versus Osprey. I could be wrong. Obviously I'm trying to remember the exact conversation, but I remember hearing this and they were just talking about how that was a fantastic match, but nobody really seems to remember these events, right? And then I realized something when I was watching this past week Collision. Solid episode. I'm not going to lie, Collision was solid. But I realized something. AEW does not know how to create massive moments on a regular basis. But they created a really good moment on that episode with Tony Storm. But the company has a storyline that takes way more, like way more emphasis. Every week on Dynamite, it's about the Death Riders. And so then I get confused with AEW and I get confused with their creative process because I'm thinking the Death Riders thing sucks. People are overwhelmingly not enjoying the storyline. But at the same time, too, everybody's enjoying the Tony Storm storyline. If AEW wants to have the event of the year, if they want to have the promotion of the year, if they want to be Booker of the Year, if they want all of these accolades by a widespread audience, you have to do what you did with Tony Storm on Collision and what you've been doing the past few months with Tony Storm, and you have to apply that to everything. There's no reason why that storyline, which is a secondary storyline, it's not the main storyline of this company. There's no reason why that should be the thing everybody loves. But then the main thing that you're trying to draw people into is the thing that sucks. And I'm sorry to say this, but it is true. The Death Riders thing is literally garbage. Garbage. All talented individuals. Somehow, some way, Blackpool Combat Club was fucking awesome. And the Death Riders thing stunk. It stunk so bad. And so then I think of Tony Khan in the weeds. Is Tony Khan actually the problem, or is Tony Khan giving too many cooks in the kitchen an opportunity to cook here? Because trust me, they're not cooking for shit. I just want to be clear about that. They're not cooking for shit. So I have that question, and I asked that question because on Collision, the one thing that sticks out with me is Tony Storm. Outside of that, outside of AEW, there is nothing that is coming close to that. Big Bill and Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs had a really great match. I'm not excited about that going forward because AEW doesn't make me get excited about things going forward. That's why Wrestle Dynasty is not being talked about. AEW Revolution was sick, but that's not even being talked about. So I look at AEW and I look at WWE and I look at all these companies and I'm thinking, Tony Khan has to pivot. Why isn't Tony Khan pivoting? He has one of the coolest things happening on his television show. He did it on Collision Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Guys, I've been live for an hour. I told you guys. Saturday night's main event was a waste of time. Collision on Saturday nights. You're not going to beat WWE Saturday night's main event. You're not going to beat and compete with the UFC or MMA companies, PFL, this and that, boxing. Saturday nights is a dead time slot. Tony Storm on Collision. See, the thing is, the Tony Storm thing should have happened on Dynamite because that should have ended the show because the Death Riders thing sucks. And they should move Collision off of Saturday nights and move it immediately to Thursdays. Get a better time slot. Then when you want to do those big moments like Tony Storm revealing that it was an all-in act, when you want to have those moments on Collision, at least it's not at a fucking dead time slot. But right now, AEW, figure it out because that shit is ass. The Death Riders thing is garbage, and you really can't improve it at this point. It has a stink that is associated with it that I promise you, it is not going to go away. It will take something very drastic, very, very drastic to go away from it. And that is the problem here. Ladies and gentlemen, we did get a couple super chats, and I do apologize for skipping over those, but I just had to be real honest, man. I just had to be real honest. Because I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Move Collision away. Move it away. Justin Kennington dropping $1.99. He agrees that the Death Riders are killing AEW. I think it is miserable content. Miserable content. I 1000% agree it's killing AEW. Killing AEW. Not even helping at all. Justin Kennington followed up with that with a $4.99. He says, and why was that great segment between Tony Storm and Mariah May not on Dynamite? The thing is, man, if you want it to be on Collision, that's fine. You can only build Collision up by giving them great stories, right? And great moments. Collision was a good episode. But nobody cares because it's a Saturday night. And for as long as it is on a Saturday night, guess what, guys? It's just simply not going to happen. People don't care. It's a very, very, very big problem. And I'm sorry, but AEW's got to fix that. They got to move Saturday nights, move to Thursdays, move to Tuesdays. I don't care. Get it off of Saturdays. Because Dynamite is the A show. It's the ass show. That is booty. Booty. Shout out to Justin Kennington for those super chats. Thank you, my boy. I appreciate you. I feel like we got another one. Tolino channel dropping 200 rupees. Let's go. Things started to change when AEW started copying WWE on business basis. When it started, AEW was the alternative, but now AEW are chasing for the ratings and feeling proud of Brawl in footage. Yeah, AEW has a lot of miscalculations, but the issue is creative. Creative is the issue. They get this really good TV deal. They get this really cool. They have a really sick roster. They have a really cool storyline with Tony Storm. They have really, really cool matches every single week. The problem is AEW has a creative problem. They've always had this creative problem. I've said this since 2020. It's a philosophy thing. It's a fundamental issue. And here's the thing, guys. When you build a fucking mansion, if you build a mansion, but the structure of it is ass and weak, then your mansion is weak and not worth the money. And so what AEW has done is built this mansion built off of a foundation that is absolutely garbage. That's why my complaints in 2025 are not this are exactly the same as what they were in 2020 and 2021. So the reality is that We could talk about things going downhill after CM Punk left. We could talk about all of that, and that's great. But they've had fundamental issues to their company since the very beginning. And I think that falls on Tony Khan. The difference is Tony Khan in the beginning, you can make an excuse for him now. But he's got the most money. When you got all that money, baby, you could buy anything. Buy a better booker because you need it. 100%. We did hit our super chat goal, by the way, guys. So shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chats. I appreciate that. It is 1:00. We are going to end the stream today at 1:00 just because today is a very, very big day. A lot of things going on. Tonight we have Netflix, Raw on Netflix. Hopefully Billy will be back tomorrow. You guys have said that the stream is working good. So I think we're going to stick with this software. Tomorrow we'll be back live. And we'll be back live talking about Raw. Royal Rumble predictions Thursday. We'll have a lot of stuff. I'm going to address this because I see this question get brought up all the time. Why do these pro wrestling podcast shows don't review National Wrestling Alliance, Progress Wrestling, Defy Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, and Game Changer Wrestling? Mr. Majestic, I talk about these companies on a regular basis on YouTube videos, right? Talking about the news and rumors and stuff. Because the things that happen in those companies and sometimes they matter. But let's just face it, all those companies fucking suck. So until those companies actually produce a TV show that is really, really enjoyable for me, I'm not reviewing that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're going to end the Ango show. I appreciate y'all for coming through and being with me. And tomorrow will be fun. We'll be back having conversation live, Twitter, YouTube, and X. I think collectively we've had over 400 or 500 viewers. So we are going to continue with this time slot, and it's going to be very fun. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.